Good afternoon, grasshoppers. I wanted to just briefly touch base with you this afternoon and share with you that Chapter 16 is basically just an extension of the marketing scenario that companies go through. And it's an interesting chapter. I actually found that as I went through it again, I learned a couple things that I found very interesting. And the chapter, of course, is very straightforward, and your your connect elements are have been up, and a good number of you have already started doing them. So that seems to be working out okay. The um, the other notion that I wanted to chat with you about is the administration wants you to have a final exam, and so there's one that I put up for the week of exams, and I think that that will open up the 12th. I believe it's the 12th that's going to open up for you. Not hard. I think it's 10 questions or something like that, but they're just pick the right answer. They're multiple choice, I think. And it's not an exam that I created, it's one that the administration sent down, and they want to get an index on what you've learned this term. So just go ahead and do it and get it done. And of course, that'll be the last thing, except for the very final assignment that I put into that week, and that is for me. That is just your feedback to me in terms of what have you learned, what have you gotten out of this class this term, and that gives me feedback in terms of, excuse me, that gives me feedback in terms of maybe some things that I could change or should change, and that's keeping in mind, of course, that Corona has just turned everything upside down. Between you and I and the fence post, this virus has just created a nightmare for everybody, for you, for faculty, and the administration. They're pulling their hair out trying to figure out what to do, what's going on. We're going to be looking at the winter term, and I have 3 courses I'm teaching, and I'm still not sure if they're going to be in class. So, once again, you're not the only ones having fun right now. So, anyway, that's the update, and I will share with you that I think I shared with you in another audio. I just miss you. I miss you terribly. And but I wanted to give you an update in terms of that final assignment, which is just for me. You're gonna get points for doing it, but uh, that's primarily for me. Nobody else is going to see that. The other thing is they do have. I got notices from the secretary that they did put a class evaluation up. If you want, go ahead and do that and get that out of the way. The administration likes those things and whatever. So, if you have any questions, drop me a line. Several of you have gotten emails in terms of some challenges that Connect was affording you. And I will share with you, I can go in and I can see some of this stuff. Like if you've done an assignment, I can open that up and I can look at it and see the score and all that. But if you haven't started it or you haven't done it, I'm hopeless. I can't see anything that's going on in there. So if you're having a challenge with that, you have to get a hold of the help desk, or you have to get a hold of Connect and have them try to sort whatever your challenge is. That's the limitations I have for the Connect element. It has it's a new thing that they've engaged in. I personally I think it's a fairly good product. I think it especially for the online elements, it just affords some very good tools for learning, and it's just on my side of the fence. It's a nightmare setting it up, but that's a different program. In any event, I want you folks to take care out there. Hope you all enjoyed your Turkey Day, and Christmas is coming in just a couple of weeks. And please, please be careful out there. Um, I understand that the national score for deaths in Corona are 100 a minute. That's how many people are dying in this country because of this virus. I just went through a virology course and got some very, very good information for myself, and I'm going to integrate that in a couple of the classes coming up on viruses and how they function, and some of the chemical makeup of them. Way above your pay grade. I know you don't care. I'm just sharing with you that I've done that. And a couple of COVID-19 is one of those viruses that's incredibly virulent. And that's what's causing all the problems. Not only that, but it's the collateral damage that this particular virus does. One of the collateral damages is the market and merchandising and these massive stores that are just genuinely suffering. The service industry, which we just covered here a week or so ago, and those people, those poor people, I'm I feel so bad for them, and uh, they estimate that now about 35% of all the service industries that have been forced to close because of the corona are going to be closed permanently. They're not going to be able to open back up. Good articles are coming out in the paper. Those of you that are following him, especially on the Wall Street Journal and uh, even the Post and the New York Times, they've had some good articles on the absolute frustrations and devastation that some of these businesses and business owners have gone through, and the massive unemployment that it's causing. So, Corona is a mess, and they're coming out with the vaccine, which is going to be great. But it's going to be a while before we get it. And from the CDC and the medical people in power, it's probably going to be spring before we get this thing out the window. That's what I'm hearing. So please, let me reiterate, I don't mean to be your dad on this, but please be careful. Just please be careful. And one of the I'm going to be sending out at the end of the term, I'll send out kind of a final email for you, have a couple little pieces of info that you might be interested in. And other than that, if you have a question, drop me a line, and I will catch up with you hopefully soon.